Good morning, children. In this video of the chapter Tick, 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 we are going to learn a very new concept which you haven't studied till now ever. And this is the concept of timeline. Children, in this concept, we draw a line and we trace the different events which have taken place in sequence, how they have occurred. Just by looking at this lines, at this line at a glance, we come to know which event occurred when and which event occurred after which event. So this is going to be really interesting and you are going to enjoy it. So we will do this with the help of 3 examples which I have taken, and let's see what we have for us in our PowerPoint presentation.
To explain timeline, I have taken the example of Omana's visit to her grandmother's house. So children, do you remember in your EVS book, there is a girl Omana who is going to visit her grandmother, and her grandmother lives in Kottayam. So she is going to visit her grandmother and she notes down all the small events which take place during her train journey to her grandmother's house. So she started from Gandhidham in Gujarat on 16th May at 11:35 a.m. This is the time when the train started. On 17th May at 7:30 a.m., she reached Madgaon in Goa. On 17th May at 8:30 a.m., she crossed a huge river and the train was passing through a bridge. It was there was a huge bridge and she had seen that kind of bridge for the first time in her life. So she noted that time. It was 8:30 a.m. Then on 17th May at 11:30 a.m., the train went through a long tunnel. And in the tunnel, it was very dark. When the train was passing through the tunnel, all the lights of the train were switched on. And she had gone through any tunnel for the first time in her life. So again, this was an important event in her journey. Then she and her family had lunch in the train at 12:30 p.m. on 17th May. And she really enjoyed having lunch in the train. On 17th May at 6 p.m., she reached a place called Kozhikode. And on 17th May at night at 11:30 p.m., she reached the Kottayam bus stand. So this was all about her journey and events which were significant for her. So this is the timeline, and this timeline shows at what time which event took place. Same kind of timeline is drawn to show important events in the history and at other places. In your maths book, there is another timeline about which we have talked, and that is the timeline of Munya's growth. Now, there is a little girl, Rani, who is very excited about her baby sister, Munya. Munya was born on 5/3/2015 2005. It means 5th March 2005. Now, she ate a banana on 5/9/2005. It means on 5th September, she ate a banana for the first time. Munya ate a banana on 5th September. Till then, she was just drinking milk. So, Rani noted this very carefully in her diary. First tooth appeared in Munya's mouth on 15th September 2005. And Rani was very excited to see that first tooth, and she noted down this date in her diary again. Now Munya sat up on 10th November 2005 for the first time. Earlier she only used to lie down, and Rani really wanted her to sit and play with her toys. She was waiting eagerly for Munya to sit. So when on 10th November Munya sat down, Rani noted this date in her diary. Now Munya started crawling on 20th November, and she was following Rani, and Rani really clapped and enjoyed and noted this important date also in her diary. On 5th Jan 2006, for the first time, Munya stood up independently. She was holding on to a chair and standing, and Rani was carefully watching her. And all of a sudden, Munya left the chair and stood up for some 15 to 20 seconds before sitting on the floor. And Rani clapped and shouted and called her mom and dad to show how Munya was standing. Again, she noted down this date, 5th January 2006, in her diary. And finally, on 2nd February, Munya started walking. She was following her sister Rani, and Rani was so happy to see Munya walking. See, children, so with the help of this timeline, we can easily see when Munya had her first tooth, when she sat up, when she started crawling, and so on, so forth. So, at a glance, we are able to see the different developments in Munya. So, children, this is how the timeline is so important for us. Okay, now I'm going to take one more example, and this will be the last example. And I'm sure you will understand how timeline helps us in seeing the events. Okay. Now, this is the timeline of Rani's puppy. Now, children, I know all of you love your pets and you love them dearly. So, Rani had a puppy, and the puppy was born on 6/6/2005. So, 6th June, the puppy was born. And the puppy opened his eyes on 20th June. You know, children, when the puppies are born, for many days they keep their eyes closed. So, for the first time, puppy opened his eyes on 20th June. And puppy got its first tooth on 27th June. Quite fast compared to Munya. Munya is a baby, na? And Rani's puppy got its first tooth quite early. 27th June, it got its first tooth. The puppy started walking, though a slightly unstably. It used to walk and then fall down, walk and then fall down. On 4th July, the puppy started walking. And the puppy had a full set of teeth on 6th Jan. By 6th Jan, puppy had a full set of teeth. See how fast he's growing. And imagine, puppy had its own puppies on 25th June 2006. Almost after a year, it had its own puppies. So children, dogs grow much faster than human babies. This timeline shows us this. So children, I hope you have understood how timeline is important for us and how we can compare the growth of a puppy with the growth of a little baby with the help of timeline. Okay, children, that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.